Level 1, the G League. You travel to away games on a bus, not a charter, a bus. Fabric seats, a bathroom that locks from the outside, and 14 other men who are also one phone call away from the NBA. The ride takes 6 hours. You sleep sitting up. Your contract pays $40,000 for the season, before taxes, before agent fees, before the cost of your own meals on the road. You check your bank account more than you check your stats. Half the guys on this roster have already been cut from an NBA team once, some of them twice. Nobody talks about it. Everyone here is performing for a scout who may or may not be in the building on any given night. You play every game like he's there. Tonight you score 31. You do everything right. After the game, you check your phone. Nothing. You get back on the bus. The ones who make it out of here never forget this bus. The ones who don't go home get jobs and watch the league on television. They carry this bus inside them for the rest of their lives. The silence after a 31-point game that nobody saw. That silence is either the thing that breaks you or the thing that builds you. You haven't decided which yet, but you get back on. That's the G League. Level 2, the last roster spot. The roster has 15 spots. You have the last one. Here is what that means in practice. When the team photo is taken, you are in it. When the team travels on the charter, you are on it. When the starting lineup is announced, your name is not in it. And on most nights, neither is your jersey number, because you don't leave the bench. Your contract is $1.1 million. It is also not guaranteed. There is language buried in it that allows the team to release you before a specific date for almost nothing. You know the date. You count down to it every single day. Your actual job, the one nobody explains when they sign you, is to make the starters better in practice. You guard the all-star every morning at full speed so he doesn't have to spend real energy until game night. You take the charge. You set the screen. You do the work that shows up in his numbers and nowhere in yours. Tonight, your team is up 31 in the fourth quarter. The coach looks down the bench. He sends in the 14th man. You sit back. You keep your face completely still. That is not hope. That is a decision you make every single day. That's the job. Level 3, the rotation player, 6th to 10th man. Every defensive coach in the league has a file on you. Your tendencies, your splits, which hand you go to under pressure, which shot you take when you're tired, the matchups you win, and the ones you don't. You have never seen these files, but you know they exist because you're good enough to matter. You come off the bench. That's your role. You've made peace with it. Not the fake peace where you say the right things in press conferences, but the real kind, where you understand exactly what you are and you've built something dangerous out of it. Your contract is somewhere between $5 and $14 million. You found out you'd been traded to your current team the same way everyone else did. Twitter. You had 72 hours to pack your apartment, get on a plane, and walk into a new locker room like you'd always been there. That's happened to you twice. Tonight, you check in during the second quarter. Your team is down 11. You score 18 in 16 minutes. You hold their starter to 2 points. The lead is gone. Post-game, the reporter asks your all-star what changed. He says the team stepped up. He means you. He doesn't say your name. You've stopped needing him to. The scoreboard knows. Level 4, the starter. 2 hours before every game, before anyone in the arena arrives, you are already in the training room. The left knee gets drained once a week. It takes 12 minutes. You have learned not to watch. Then it gets wrapped in a specific sequence your trainer developed over 2 years of trial and error. Then the lower back. Then the right shoulder. When it's done, you stand up, test your movement, and walk out of that room with nothing showing on your face. If it shows on your face, defenders know. Defenders knowing costs you points. Points are your contract. This is what starting in the NBA actually costs. Not the games, the hours before the games. In a room, nobody is allowed to film. You average 20 points. You make $22 million a year. The media has had 3 years to develop an opinion about you. Right now, the opinion is that you are good, genuinely good, but not elite, just beneath the next tier. You have that take printed and taped inside your locker. Not as motivation, as fuel. Motivation fades. Fuel burns clean and cold for a long time. Tonight is a nationally televised game. The broadcast spent the pregame segment on your opponent, a 2-time All-Star. You hold him to 9 points on 3 of 13 shooting. You finish with 27 and 9. The postgame segment is still about him, about what went wrong. You shower. You watch film. You call your mother on the way home because she watched the game and she always notices. She doesn't talk about the stats. She asks if you ate. You tell her yes, you haven't. You do it again tomorrow. Starters carry the game quietly every night. Level 5, the All-Star. The All-Star vote is partly a popular popularity contest. You know this because you play in a mid-sized market, and you almost didn't make it despite averaging 26 and 7. A player in Los Angeles with worse numbers got more votes. That's how it works. You made it anyway by coach's selection, and you don't bring this up because there's no version of saying it that doesn't sound like complaining. You are one of 24 players selected from the entire league. Your face is on a billboard in a city you have played in exactly twice. Here is what happens the moment you become an all-star that nobody prepares you for. The pressure stops coming from outside and starts living inside you permanently. Before, a bad game was a bad game. Now, a bad game is a narrative. Now, a bad game is a trend piece. Now, a bad game is a question about your ceiling. You can have 11 elite performances and one off night, and the off night is the one that gets a 6-minute segment. Your son is 4 years old. Last week, he watched you play for the first time and pointed at the TV and said your name. Not dad, your name. The one on the back of the jersey. Something about that hasn't left you. He doesn't know you as a basketball player yet. He just knows you as the guy who makes breakfast. You are trying very hard to stay that guy. Tonight is Game 6. Your team is down 3-2 in the series. Your coach draws up a play in the huddle. It ends with the ball in your hands. Every defender in the building knows it's coming. You take the shot anyway. That's the job. Not taking it means you're not an all-star. You're just a very good player who got a vote. Tonight, it goes in. Level 6, the superstar. You have not driven yourself anywhere in 2 years. Not because you can't, because you can't. The security detail requires a driver. The insurance requires the detail. The team requires the insurance. It started as a precaution after a specific incident your publicist handled quietly. Now it is just your life. You move through cities in tinted SUVs. You enter arenas through tunnels. You eat at restaurants through back doors. In private rooms, your assistant books 3 days in advance. The life looks vast from the outside. From the inside, it is a series of very controlled rooms. You are making the maximum the league allows, somewhere between $45 and $60 million a year. Teams build their entire identity around your preference. The head coach runs his system through your strengths, which means he was hired partly because of how well he fits you, not the other way around. Ownership approved a full recovery wing in the practice facility because you asked for it in a conversation that lasted 4 minutes. You haven't taken a real day off in 4 years. In July, while every other player is somewhere with their family, you are in a private gym at 6 a.m. with your trainer and 0 cameras. There are nights, fewer than you'd admit to anyone, where you sit in the back of the SUV after a game and you just want someone to ask how you're doing. Not the performance, not the shot chart, you. But the people around you at this level are paid to manage you, not to know you. That is a loneliness that no contract amount fixes. Tonight is Game 7. The game is tied. 9 seconds. Your coach calls timeout, looks at you, and wipes the board clean. Just get him the ball, he says. 3 dribbles. Space. Up. The superstar doesn't wait for the right shot. They make the shot right. Level 7, the MVP. The trophy sits in a storage room off your kitchen. Not because you don't respect it, because there was nowhere obvious to put it, and putting it somewhere obvious felt like something you weren't ready to be yet. So it's in the storage room, next to your golf clubs and a box of stuff from your last apartment, and you walk past it every day on the way to the garage, and sometimes you think about that and what it means, and then you get in the car and go to work. Here is what winning MVP actually does to your life. It turns every other team's summer into a project about stopping you. Every coaching staff now spends 3 months building schemes specifically designed to take away what you do. Every young defender in the league identifies guarding you as the thing that would define their career. You average 30 and 9. You shoot 51% from the field. Those numbers look clean. The cost does not. 2 hours before every game, you're in the training room. Some weeks it's the knee, some weeks the back, some weeks both. When they're done, you walk out of that tunnel and nothing shows. If it shows, the scheme changes. If the scheme changes, you work harder. Harder is not a direction your body wants to go at this stage. Tonight, there is a rookie on the other team who told a reporter before the game that he's the best player in the league. You score 41, because that's what you do every night. Being MVP means the standard is you, not last season's you, tonight's you, every time. But here's the thing nobody tells you about being the standard. The kid on that G League bus is still inside you. He's the reason you show up at 6 a.m. He's the reason you score 41 on a night when your knee is draining and your back is wrapped and the rookie across from you hasn't earned the right to say your name yet. You haven't left him behind. You didn't outgrow him. You just gave him a bigger stage. And every level between that bus and this trophy, every ignored text, every empty practice court, every game you played for a scout who never showed, it wasn't wasted time. It was foundation.